Alright guys, we are looking at Inscription Rock. And I will show you why here in a few minutes.
Hi guys, I really went on an amazing field trip. It was so amazing, it's actually going to be multiple virtual field trips. So we started off here in Albuquerque. We headed west to Grants, right there. We then headed south on 53, and we went through the Malpine National Monument and actually camped at El Morro. So this is going to be the same map we're going to be using for at least 4 of the field trips, because what I saw was absolutely incredible. So remember, Miss Sigmund camped at El Morro. Here are actually some petroglyphs, particularly the bighorn sheep and the bear paw. Many petroglyphs depict animals that were once familiar fauna in the region. Their compelling shapes and actions invite us to pause and imagine why people may have pecked them into the bluff. The Spanish inscription above the bighorn sheep reads, "We, Sergeant Major and Captain Juan de Onate, de Adjunct Diego Martin Barba, and Ensign Agustin de Llanos, passed here in the year of 1636. Here are some more petroglyphs. There are more than 2,000 petroglyphs and inscriptions covered the Inscription Rock. The petroglyphs cover the sandstone bluff as a testament to the many hundreds of years people have lived or stopped by. If you look at this rock, you can see writing. These aren't petroglyphs, but these are writings. 1849. Drawn by R.H. Kern. Then down below in Spanish, "I am of the hand of Felipe de Arellano on the 16th of September, soldier." And then here we have some more. So all of this is over 200 years old. So this is the longest inscription. The Governor and Captain General of the Provinces of New Mexico, for the King our Lord, passed by here, returning from the Zuni Pueblos on July 29th, 1620. He left them in peace at their request, asking his favor as vassals of his majesty. They again rendered their obedience. He did all this with the attention, zeal, and prudence as such a particular Christian gentleman and gallant soldier of unending praiseworthy memory. So this inscription was left in Spanish colonial shorthand. The translation: on the 23rd of March, or May, of the year 1632, we traveled to avenge the death of Father Letrado Lujan. So about the year 1629, Father Letrado built the earliest mission chapel at Gran Quivira, which today is part of Salinas Pueblo Mission's National Monument near Mountain Air. He was transferred to Zuni in February 1632 and was killed just 1 week later. On hearing the news, the governor sent a punitive expedition of soldiers, one named Juan Lujan, from Santa Fe to Zuni. The inscriptions and petroglyphs at El Morro are an important link to the past. Although they are very old, they will not be here forever. Sand grains are washed away, rocks crumble and fall, and lichens and clay deposits cover the historical markings as part of our heritage is fading away. So you can barely see it, but there's a poem. The Lord and Governor Don Francisco Manuel de Silva Nieto came this far with our Lord King's wagons. With his indubitable arm and valor, he has already overcome the impossible, a thing which he alone accomplished 5 August 1629, so that one may well proceed to Zuni and carry the holy faith. Alright, I'm sorry. Even though this is chiseled in rock, even if you think about that, this handwriting is so much better than mine. So very few women left their inscriptions in El Morro, in Inscription Rock. Miss A.F. Bailey was one of the exceptions. America Frances Bailey and her sister Amelia were part of a wagon party headed from Missouri to California in 1858. Petroglyph markers incised or pecked into the sandstone. These incised the petroglyphs by pecking into rock using an animal antler or a harder rock called a hammerstone. Spaniards used daggers or horseshoe nails to inscribe their names and messages. Pioneers and other settlers along the trail of westward expansion probably used hammer and chisel, knives, nails, and other tools. So this is one of the oldest and more famous inscriptions at El Morro, that of the first governor of New Mexico, Don Juan de Onate. Was inscribed in 1605, 15 years before the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock. In 1604, Oñate left the settlement of San Gabriel with 30 men in search of the South Sea, the Pacific Ocean. During their trip, the group visited the Gulf of California as well as the South Sea. On his return, Oñate left this inscription. The translation: Governor Don Juan de Onate passed through here from the discovery of the Sea of the South on the 16th of April, 1605. The inscription was not made on Oñate's first visit to El Morro, which was on December 13th, 1598. He passed here from Zuni with a group of Spanish soldiers traveling to the Rio Grande via Acoma. Below the Oñate inscription is an inscription that reads, "The ensign Don Joseph de Paiva Vasconcelos passed through here on the 18th of February, 1726, the year he returned at his own expense." So what's so special about Inscription Rock? Why would so many people write their names down on the rock walls? Well, the reason why, if you can see, is this ancient pool. Many would stop here to quench their thirst for themselves and for their animals. El Morro is home to over 700 years of human history, displaying life and conflict. What is also noticeable is the will to live, no matter how tough your surroundings are.